I'm not saying it's better than other martial arts, but this club is the best one around here.
I'm the chief instructor, chief coach of Team Kode. I'm a coach down at Allenton Boxing Academy as well. I think all in all we've had about 14, 15 international titles come through Team Kode. Started my boxing when I was 16 years old. Boxed amateur. I had around 10 amateur fights, and then I started pro. I got my pro license when I was 26, 27 when I got my pro license, and I had 3 professional bouts as well.
It is a big part of my life. Like, I train quite regularly. I'd say about 5-6 times a week.
I don't want anything other than #1 spot, so yeah, I'm going to keep going until I get that.
It's hard to explain the feeling you get when you actually go into the ring. I know a lot of people say, yeah, it's nerves, but there's a lot more to it. Actually going in there and performing and putting everything together that you've worked on for however long, regardless if it's a 6-week, 8-week camp, or you've been in the sport for 10, 15 years. It's a progressive build-up. You're always adding to I always tell my guys, it's like your game's like a big puzzle, and there's always pieces to be put in, and you're always adding to your game. But actually going in the ring and performing and seeing things come together and coming out hopefully victorious, having your hand raised at the end of a bout is nothing that can match that, to be honest. It's a pretty awesome feeling.
It helps me concentrate in school, and it gives a nice balance to my life.
I think with these sports, because you train so hard, it takes it out of you so much. You always have peaks, and you always have dips as well in how much you want to go to training and that, but after that dip you always come back stronger, so you just got to keep going. All fighters know that.
I was 16 when I started boxing, and I've been involved with it ever since. This is my 50th year involved with boxing. When I was 16, I was walking past a place called the Derbyshire Yeoman, and there was an amateur boxing show on there run for the Derbyshire Sporting Club. And I actually just looked inside, saw it, then started asking around where the local club was, and it was only a 10-minute walk from my home, which I had no idea it was there. And that was the start of it all.
Started at 11 years old. Mummy brought me down. She thought I needed toughening up, so.
I started in the martial arts when I was 14. Started with kickboxing, and it was a friend of mine that he pretty much had to drag me down to my first class. I've got to admit, when I was that age, I kind of thought that I could handle myself pretty good, and I didn't really need anything like that. He went down to his first session on his own, come back, told me about it. Everything seemed really good, so I went down, had a look with him, and then from that moment I was hooked on the sport. Attended as many sessions as we could. We was like doing double sessions at one venue, getting on our mountain bikes, heading over to another venue across Derby, and then train again, and then get back, and then phone up and ask, try and get guys to give us a lift to the next sessions. Was proper hooked on it. So, but yeah, that's when I started the kickboxing side of things.
It's got me fully addicted to the sport. Once it grabs you, it's hard to let go. That's it now. Love the team. That's it. I'll be a part of it forever. It's
a progressive build-up. You're always adding to your, I always tell my guys, it's like your game's like a big puzzle, and there's always pieces to be put in, and you're always adding to your game. But actually going in the ring and performing and seeing things come together and coming out hopefully victorious. You know, having your hand raised at the end of a bout is nothing that can match that, to be honest. It's a pretty awesome feeling. So I think a lot of guys will go in there, have their first one, and especially if they're successful, and it's not always about having your hand raised, but if you can perform and you manage to pull things together that you have been working on in the gym, that is a massive achievement on its own. And going out able to do that under the the pressure that you're under, like I say, it's difficult to match. So I think that feeling there that you get is it can be pretty addictive, to be honest.
At the very beginning, I wasn't really bothered about martial arts. I've been to a karate class before, but gone off that pretty quickly. But like I said before, my mum went down first. She took me down there, said I'd enjoy it, kicked me in the class, and I'm here today.
I was 4 when I started going to classes and stuff with my dad. Train 6 to 7 times a week with my dad and my granddad in Allenton.
It's working really well for her. Again, with the results that she's coming out with from the boxing game, she's European, EU champion, Nations Cup gold medalist. She's boxing for England at the minute. She's in the last bout she stopped the girl in the first round. So yeah, I'm very happy with how she's getting on.
I've had all these people around me like Simi, Sabi, George, my dad, my mum, my grandma and granddad. They've helped me a lot along the road. I look up to the 3 GB Olympic girls who are representing Great Britain at the minute, which are Nicola Adams, Savannah Marshall and Natasha Jonas. Look up to them. I look up to my dad massively because obviously he's been boxing for a while and obviously competing in kickboxing.
This is me for the foreseeable future. I love what I do. I love the people that it puts me around, and more than anything, it's the family. That it's put me in and around as well. The Kode guys, they're the ones that keep me driving and keep me pushing forwards through the hard times of the coaching and the instructing, and that. Yeah, I feel pretty blessed to be in the position that I am and work with such amazing group of people.
I want to do it for my dad, not only for me, to impress my dad and my granddad, to make them proud.
I want to start boxing and I want to be as good or better than my sister.
Chantel, my daughter, getting the double at the World Championships, but she also doubled at the Europeans, and I know she's actually set a trend there, if not set a record, the first person to actually do the double and then go back and do the double again the year after.
You know what, Chantel's like one of my idols. She's younger than me, but I still look up to her.
Yeah, I think her progress has gone really good. I watched one of her boxing fights. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Her fight was, yeah, progress looks pretty good.
Yeah, she's doing amazingly well. Yeah, she's the one I want to be like.
Just don't stop. If you're feeling down and you feel like you can't do it or something's bringing you down, just keep on going. Push yourself. Yeah.
You can be training for a year and things feel out of place, and all of a sudden, boom, everything comes together. So try and stick it out. As long as you're with a good coach, stick it out for as long as you can. And like I say, it's a long journey, but that's why it's very few that make it to the top. If it was easy, everybody would be a world champion,
It's been hard. It hasn't been an easy route.
So obviously my little girl, seeing her up on the podium with the GB flag wrapped around her, that was very special as well. Very special.
Aiming for the Olympics.
Yeah, she's doing all right. She's doing all right.